do it now. 2 years ago, 40% more. It's insane. So.
Are you getting the Brunswick?
Good evening, everyone. I say evening now. We're after 6 o'clock. We're here at Bowlero, Auburn for the semifinals of the DJs Pro Shop Non-Champs event, NEBA number 983. Only 17 more events to 1,000, Sarah. Might have to get you to come up for that one. Sarah Gill joining me here for the semifinal call. How you doing?
Great.
Welcome back. And great to have you. Jeremy Hartbarger saying goodbye. A very nice tournament for him. And happy Thanksgiving to you, Jeremy. We'll see you in a little bit. Let's review our matches here. Here's Zach Bogoltz. I'm sure I'm butchering his name, right?
I have no idea.
Bogoltz.
I honestly have no idea.
It's the announcer's curse. I was Hendrik Tremblay won the other day, and I go Henrik, and I go, and he's French. I go Henrik. I'm sure I'm butchering. No, it's Henrik. And so I got that right. So that was nice. So. So it's actually Paul Bajorski here against Bill Beck. Paul coming off a victory against Mike Rubin, who the very smooth stroker, who we had not seen up here before. I would have remembered that swing. Reminded us of Mike Fagan. And he's up against Bill Beck. And Bill ground out a victory against Scott Hartnett, who had been having a very nice final up until then. And Brandon Vallone now is on 32, just struck there. And he's up against Zach Bogoltz. I'm saying Bogoltz. Well, if he wins, I'll definitely ask him. How's that?
His dad's sitting behind him, so I'm sure we could ask him.
We could ask. I'm sorry, there's no ill intent there. So, Bill Beck, that's definitely urethane. That ball is laying off, and that is a purple, I believe. We saw him tee up for. It looks awfully dark for a purple, but I saw it up close. It's purple. So. Here's Brandon Vallone looking for the double. So it is 2 lefties, 2 righties here, Sarah. And I chose Brandon just because I think he's got such a smooth stroke. But I'll tell you, of the two, I think Paul Bajorski has got the calmer look. But both guys have a good look to the pocket. This 33-4 has been very good to a couple of righties. Scott Carruthers shot 279, I think, on this pair. And we saw another good score. Look at this. That's a flush 7-pin. Really? He comes back with a look on his face, and he goes, no kidding. It wasn't even like a smash 7. That was just all the pins just kind of went down and went around the 7-pin. I don't even know how that happened. So the pattern, Sarah, is 37 feet, 26.6 mils, 4-1. It is, in theory, dry outside of 5, but we're seeing so many different ways to attack this pattern. Why do you think there's so many different styles that are having success on it?
I think it's like you said, the topography of the center. This is where a lot of the leagues are, so I think that's why a lot of people are seeing success right around that second arrow range.
Yep. Natural friction there and natural track. And indeed, I do bowl here. And there's a tremendous shot by Zach Bogoltz. He definitely wins the high RPM award for the finalists by about 20, 200 maybe. And I bowl league here, and our Tuesday league doesn't quite get this far down. And the Thursday league gets down to 29 and 30, I think. And I do find them, actually it's funny that there are subtleties among these pairs. As you move up and down the pairs. The worst pair in the house, 47 and 8, because there's a door. Another beautiful shot by Zach, and we better learn his name because this young man went front 3 and looks unstoppable, and he looks like he's going to bowl his way into the finals here. 47 and 8, there's a door. There's a little doorway that it lets out right behind 47 and 8. There's always a lot of air movement around that pair, so it's always the most inconsistent pair in the house, where 49 and 50 is way, way more consistent. But nonetheless, a lot of people don't like end pairs. They don't like the high end pair there. My favorite pairs are actually down in the low 30s, high 20s. because I find they actually do react a little better, believe it or not, than the higher pairs. So even within these pairs up here, there's subtlety of who reacts to what. So both lefties here going through the beak. Paul Bajorski, 4-6-7, got some nasty hook, and Brandon going through and breaking up the baby split and leaving a 7-pin. And now Bill Beck takes the lead on the bench, and Zach has the lead by virtue of the front three. So we'll see how we do. You can revise your pick if you like.
It's a tough one.
Since you lost Mike Rubin.
Know.
That's allowed. No problem. So
I might have to go Zach. I mean, he's been crushing it over there.
Zach looks very strong. Well, it'll be one or the other of our picks in the finals. I picked Brandon, and right now Zach looks like he's got a pretty unstoppable look on 31-2. We'll see how that goes. Sarah, you qualified for the Paul Forey Memorial, but by virtue of your location in New Orleans, could not make it to one of the final, one of the pair down rounds, and we're down to our top 32. And that top 32 will vie at the upcoming tournament in Norwich, the Ideal Bowling Concepts Singles, and there will be a top 20 prize list, and there's another one high. In fact, Brooklyn for Brandon, and he's looking at it. He just doesn't know what the heck just happened. That ball just went Brooklyn. So there will be a 20 position prize list with $2,000 on top. So if one of those 32 wins the tournament, it'll be an extra $2,000 by virtue of Chris Forey and Buddy's Pro Shop in honor of his dad, Paul Forey, and can't say enough about that sponsorship. Thank you so much, El Jefe, for that. There's a senior singles on December 10th, also at Norwich coming up. And tomorrow, still room in the Storm Rotogrip 900 Global Tournament of Champions. And the winner here will actually get and every winner this year has had a paid entry into that TOC. And they're allowed to bowl literally for free. So you can bowl as a walk-in. There's a single squad at 10 a.m. With no re-oil for the finals. Two-game elimination. Still be bracket finals. You got that one way right. Can the purple make the corner? No. Bill Beck comes up for the 2-pin. Could not double. And still holds a slim lead over Paul Bajorski, who just went 4-6. And meanwhile, guess what? Zach gets the third one, and then the fourth one almost has the Brian Zeizig over the top 7-pin. Remember that? The plastic tournament on Long Island? Almost has that happen. It happened to Belmo to allow Zeizig to win, and unfortunately it did not happen for Brandon Malone. He did get the strike, so front five for Zach Bogholtz, looking very strong. Thanks everybody for tuning in. If you could share the feed, we can get our viewership numbers up. And of course, don't forget that we take all these matches, and there's a double for Brandon. Don't count him out yet. Don't forget we post all these matches up on YouTube now. So we have our own NEBA YouTube channel. It's got about 950 followers, I think. And each Monday I'll take the memory chip from the Mevo and upload those things up there and put them up there. And it's a nice permanent archive for every live stream. So we're going to figure out how to promote that a little bit more, because it's a really nice feature that we have. So good shot there by Bajorski. So Michael Martell and some other folks hanging around to cheer on Paul Bajorski. And here's Brandon. Gets the triple for Brandon. Made the move. He went Brooklyn on that lane last time. And comes back with a triple to go 20 over. Unfortunately, his opponent is now 40 over. With one more strike will be 50 over. So a very important triple for Brandon to keep up, and hope that Zach has some kind of a miss here. Here's Bajorski's got that release. That definitely was right. It's only 37 feet, Sarah, so not exactly a shim.
Yeah, not quite. I'm trying to figure out what he's throwing. Can't tell.
Yeah, it's one of the Brunswick brands. He's got an ebonite shirt on. And Zach goes a little bit high for the 4-pin. And there's maybe the chink in the armor that Brandon needed, because he can get up and match his 5-bagger now. So whatever Zach does going forward, Brandon can get up and double and tie him. So interesting match all of a sudden on 31-2. And not a bad match here on 33-4, 5 pins difference between these guys. So a couple of pretty good matches here, Sarah. So the assistant coach, full-time job. That's a full-time job?
Full-time job.
Look at you.
Salaried and all.
Well, that's great. Good for you. And what are some of the, now this is your first coaching gig, right? So,
it is.
So what's your biggest surprise in this? And Bill Beck gets one to lay off and strikes on the right lane. What's your biggest surprise now that you're coaching?
You know,
it's
really hard to just like sit back and watch it happen. Like I wish I could, jump in, put some shoes on, lace up, and go join them. Well,
you've got the chops, so you deserve to be out there. Unfortunately, we age out. We all age out.
I know.
And that's a good feeling. So I'm sure that rubs off.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure they have respect for somebody who's got your credentials and your approach to the game. That's got to lay off. Oh, he got that left, and that went dead straight. Bill Beck. And let's see if Sarah's trying to get a peek into Paul Bajorski's ball. It's some kind of reactive. I don't think it's urethane. Do you think?
No, I don't think so.
It's definitely not a purple. That's a purple that Bill Beck was throwing. And of course, purple now, they came out with the reactive purple, right?
Yes, I actually just drilled it. Yeah, completely forgetting that I can't throw it here, else I was going to bring it with me.
Oh, oops. That's right. You can't throw it. It's not generally out yet, right?
No, it comes out next Friday.
By the way, neither is the Zen U. The Zen U is not available for tomorrow, even though it's 33 feet.
I know.
Because that's November 17th. So.
But the purple reactive looks good on this.
Does it?
Yeah, I bowled on this at our center back in New Orleans, and I like the look of it.
Oh, good.
It's going to be a good ball.
Good. Well, every new ball shall now be purple, and every ball will be purple going forward. That's the rule.
It has to be a good ball.
It's got to be good if it's purple. So there you go.
Purple balls strike.
Brandon Vallone, as promised, to take a 1-pin lead in this match after Zach Bogholt starts with the front 5. And can he do it? The drier lane. He's had one go Brooklyn. He's blown the rack here. What will he do here? How's it look? Pretty good. Dead flush, slaps the 7. +1 for Brandon Vallone coming back, putting the pressure back on Zach. And here's Bajorski makes the adjustment. Meanwhile, Bill Beck, by virtue of that layoff, he got that up into the track there and got it to back away, doubled. And here's Zach, rips the rack for a strike of his own. Boy, we got a barn burner here now, Sarah. So both bowlers 268 in the wood, or 269, 268 if they go sheet. And they are they're 1 pin apart right now. And there's your scorecard there. Bill Beck, can he get another one? Beautiful shot. Flat 10. Flat 10 for Bill.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. Dead flush for Zach Bogholtz. What pressure bowling. He's in the 248 range now. Brandon right now at 239 needs now another strike to get the lead. We're going back and forth here with this match. While Bill Beck enjoying a 16-pin lead by virtue of that double there, and Paul Bajorski's had that one open. That's the difference in the match. Here goes Brandon Vallone, and by the way, Brandon can go sheet and shut out Zach if he punches. He's got ball in hand. Nice high backswing, gets it right, gets it out, and does not recover. And as I recall, this pair, the left lane is drier, as we've seen Brandon go Brooklyn on that lane, and then on the tighter lane, 32, He really trusted it, got it left, did not make the corner, and leaves a disastrous 3-6-7. So that's going to put him 2 down in count. And now he's down the double, and if he opens, it's just going to just about be over. And how about another layoff shot for Bill Beck? Huge shot here for Brandon. Can he make it? Can't do it. Now Brandon, maximum score 234. With Zach in the 240s. So actually Zach would just need 9 out to close out his match at this point. And really not a good break for Brandon. He just made what I call the wrong mistake on the wrong lane. Oh, that is a Columbia 300 Beast being thrown by Paul Bajorski. It's not an aggressive ball. Beast of a ball, and Brandon cannot convert. That's going to pretty much end the match. Wow. Brandon had a chance to lock it up and unfortunately got one left on the tighter lane. Comes up light and then gets it light again. Maximum 224. And Zach just needs to now keep it on the lane. So it will be Zach Bogholtz in the final. And we'll have to wait and see the result of this Bill Beck match. Looks like both lefties in jeopardy here because Bajorski down by 16 in his match. So he maxes out at 2:13. Bill Beck cruising at a 2:09 pace. So it could be righty on a pair that has not yielded some good scores on 35 and 6. You have to stick around for this match.
Oh, absolutely.
You struggled like crazy on that pair. And it's going to be really interesting to see two righties try to have at it. This should be a really interesting final match.
It'll be interesting on Bill Beck's strategy if he gets the ability to go back over there because that's the pair that we started on.
Uh-huh. Okay, that's right. So let's not say anything. Let's see how they do. Now, it hasn't been touched since your game, I don't think.
No,
there was one
Brandon's
more game.
game.
That's right. There was one more game after that. And Brandon's game. Brandon 224. An otherwise good game. Probably would have won here on 33 and 4. And Bill Beck, perfect shot. Puts himself now in the 2 teens. He now just needs a mark to close out Paul Bajorski by virtue of that strike of the 9th. Great shot. Congratulate Amanda Broge, winner of the Women's Cup Series. Sponsored by BowlingSeriously.com and Joanne Herman. Here's Bill Beck. Beautiful shot there. Gets it to hook. Boy, he's got a great look on that pair. Man, I bet she's going to be sad to leave 33 and 4, especially 33 with the room he's got there. And here's Zach. Spins another one up. And Zach will realize the 260, possibly 268 game and absolutely barrel his way into the finals. So congratulations to Zach and Bill Beck by virtue of the first one in the 10th. So we do have our all-righty final on a pair that has been very, very tough on the right, Sarah. Can't wait for this one. This should be interesting.
Oh, yeah.
That one he gets left, sets up. He's not going to have that on 35 and 6.
Yeah, I don't think so.
He might. Well, we'll see. If he creates it,
you better make the 2 shots in each lane work.
Yeah, you want to run over and say, look, these 2 shots are probably the most important you've ever thrown. You better get a read or you're going to have nothing. And we'll figure it out. Meanwhile, Paul Bajorski, of course, strikes now. Paul Bajorski, turns out that one split in the 3rd was tragic. Imagine that strikes. He goes front 4, and he would be right in the match. So it turns out one shot. So 267 for Zach. And Bill Beck with that soft stroke of the purple, making him look dead easy there. Finishes 239. So our 2 finalists, certainly with big games, 260 and 230, Sarah, as they move over to this very interesting 35 and 6. We'll watch Paul Bajorski's last shot here, and then we'll invite you all back in just a couple of minutes for our final match. It will be Zach Bogholtz against Bill Beck. We will crown a new NEBA champion here. All right, we'll be right back in a few minutes. Thanks, guys.